I I didn't go through the worst of it, I was on the fringes of it, but as I shall be saying in there, I was a Polish Jew living in Germany when the Nazis came to power, and there was no opportunity at first to leave Germany, but eventually all the Polish Jews in Germany were taken prisoner, and we were taken on a forced march to Poland, and arrived in Poland, of course, completely destitute. And then eventually, I shall amplify all this in the talk, but eventually I was rescued from Poland by a Kindertransport. Once people outside the German sphere of Germany and the German sphere of influence began to realize that terrible things were happening in Germany, an attempt was made to save as many children as possible. And children, only children, because most countries had a severe unemployment problem, so they didn't want to allow too many adults to come who would only either have become unemployed or else taken somebody else's job. And so the Kindertransport movement was specifically for children, and a certain number of children were saved, and although most of them came from Germany or Austria and some from Czechoslovakia, there were just a few from Poland, and I was lucky to be one of those few. I was also lucky that the Kindertransport brought me to this country and not to some of the other countries like France and the Netherlands, which were occupied by the Germans, of course, afterwards. The children who went there were back in German hands when the Germans occupied those countries, whereas those in this country, of course, didn't have that experience.
How important do you think it is to educate some of the younger people, the younger generation, about what actually happens and how important events like tonight?
I think it is very important for two reasons. One is the historical significance, but more importantly, one wants to try to prevent things like that from happening again. Unfortunately, they have happened again in various parts of the world, as I'm sure you know. Even if not on that scale, nevertheless they have happened, and one wants to try to educate people into abandoning the sort of prejudices which lead to this sort of thing.